Hello again, welcome into the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader for today. So I've just finished doing a video all about how to release attachment to your divine counterpart, to your twin flame. So do go check that out and give it a like if it assists you in your journey. And even if you feel like you're fully detached, there's some really good reminders in there. I'm going to, for this video, we're going to look at the cards and we are going to ask the cards. Just kind of want to get an idea of the temperature of the collective right now, because we're shifting very rapidly. I know there's a lot of solar flares occurring, and I know a lot of you are feeling a lot of heart palpitations and even a lot of work, like I meant to mention in the video, but I'll mention in this one. Yesterday I could barely move. I had taken NyQuil the day before, and that tends to make me feel hungover, but I literally couldn't move until I met my friend for dinner at like 6 o'clock at night. I didn't get out of my PJs, I took a bath, and that's about all I did. I could not move, and I inquired with another healer friend, and she said, I feel the same way. I only did what was necessary, the very minimum, and I felt like, literally, like, I just felt like I wanted to rest. And it was fatigue, but it was more of a, not physical fatigue, more of a mental fatigue, more of an emotional fatigue, a spiritual fatigue. And so I know as we approach this full moon in Aries, we are being prepared to release so much. And whatever it is that you've been carrying, you'll be releasing with this full moon in Aries as well. So let's focus on that full moon in Aries for this for this full moon in Aries. I want to focus on that. And as I mentioned in the last video, as I've been mentioning, this is such an important full moon, and it's going to complete a cycle that began in April of this year. So think back to April, look at your journal records and look and see what was happening in April of 2022 here for you. What patterns might have been occurring? What thoughts were you having? What were you working on or healing at that time? What was going on in your divine connection? All right. If you'd like your own personal reading or a coaching session, you can reach out to me at my website or email listed below in the description box. You can also connect with me over on Patreon, and I will be doing a full moon energy report for this powerful, cataclysmic, powerful full moon in Aries. It's the second most powerful full moon of this year, and it's got a beautiful, beautiful energy to it. All right. So the overall energy here, we have 2 days before this full moon and then the 10-10 portal. So the overall energy of this full moon in Aries, please, the overall energy. This card has been appearing a lot. Yeah. Four of Swords. You might feel like resting, like I talked about the energy yesterday. You might feel like you need rest and renewal right now. Epsom salt bath. Don't do more, do less, okay? Don't push yourself physically or mentally or emotionally at this time. Retract yourself. Listen to your intuition also at this time. If you feel like you need to step back from a situation or a person, or you need to take space or distance, please do so. I think there's going to be tests coming up with this full moon in Aries, and one of the tests is going to be, have you learned how to protect yourself and nurture yourself? Have you learned how to step back from a situation or person? Just because they need you doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be available. If it doesn't feel right, or if it's going to siphon your energy, if it's going to be an energy vampire situation, step back and honor yourself. So this is really a full moon about honoring thyself. Aries, as we know, sitting in that first house of self-examination, self-awareness, but also it's like the self, the opposing sign Libra of we. Aries is me. It's a me sign. So it's self-centered, but not necessarily in a negative light. It's self-centered, like let's focus on self. Let's put ourselves first so that we can offer more to others once we filled up our own cup. And that's exactly what she's doing. A spa day might be called for at this time. I'm a big fan of the infrared sauna for healing. Meditation is very, very powerful at this time. In particular, a meditation on self or a meditation on abundance. There's an abundant energy coming in with this full moon in Aries that you'll want to grab and take a hold of. And just this beautiful connection to the divine, this beautiful connection to your higher self that is on display. We have the Knight of Pentacles who showed up, I believe it was 2 days ago in the reading. So she's showing up again here. And she is really just reminding us of our true abundant nature. She's reminding us that we're wild and free and that we don't need to be contained. We're releasing ourselves from these confines, from this imprisonment of our own mind or even this body. I know a lot of you have been saying this body feels really heavy lately. This body feels like I just kind of want to detach from the body. And I don't necessarily feel like I need to no, I don't want to say like connect to the body, but it might have been feeling lately like the body is cumbersome and the body is holding you back. So I think this is that invitation to detach and invitation to kind of go spiritual, go a little bit crazy with your spirituality at this time. You're also, your productivity, your creativity might be coming back online, should be coming back online, I should say, with this full moon in Aries, but it's going to require you to first rest. So it's like a period of rest, which most of you have kind of already experienced recently, and then the productivity comes back online. This is about your hard work paying off and your determination. And this is about planting seeds for the future. So, you know, creating financial security, creating foundation for yourself, and doing this all by yourself. And this goes for both the masculine and the feminine, you know, doing this by yourself, not expecting others to supply you with resources. You're creating your own resources. You're also, it's almost like growing your own resources from within and then allowing those to sprout and allowing those to be what drives you, your motivating force, your guiding force. So looking within rather than looking outward. This is definitely an inward facing journey here, this full moon in Aries, okay? Huge inward facing journey. The self-facing way. Not looking outside for validation, not looking outside. You can ask for support, but first you're going to ask yourself, how am I supporting myself? How am I showing up for myself? You should be feeling better in your skin. You should be feeling better about yourself right now. There should be a clearing away of a lot of that self-detrimental talk, that self-deprecation that was occurring for the last few months there. All right, so let's see. Feminine energy overall. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. I'm losing cards. It's windy. Okay. So, it's not, I mean, it's a little windy. You're in the 4 energy, Divine Feminine. This is going to be, there's still a little bit of that hoarding energy where you might feel like you don't want to share your resources. I see that with the Knight of Pentacles. Like, this is, my hard work is paid off, my due diligence, my productivity. I want to keep this for myself. But that might be causing a block. So you want to look at where you might be blocked abundantly. Are you blocked abundantly because you're trying to create from a scarcity, like a place of mental scarcity? That could cause an abundance block. Hold on. Also, I'm back. Also, if you're creating from that place of scarcity, then it's going to bring in like more scarcity, right? And I know a lot of people have been talking about, a lot of clients and even friends and family talking about like abundance blocks and what that means. Well, I think part of it is boredom and discontentment with where you're at or where you've been, feeling the need to make changes, the necessary changes to switch things up so that you're more in the flow, but also you feel more fulfilled with what you're doing. We're switching up the way in which we give back. We're switching up the way in which we create. So your creativity has maybe felt stifled in the past few months, and that's because we were in retrograde season. We had a lot of interesting planetary occurrences and planetary kind of connections that were occurring, and they weren't all positive. And for a lot a lot of us, there could have been very challenging, personal astrological connections as well. I know this is like a total reinvention of self for me right now, just to give you guys some insight. Total reinvention of self. I'm feeling it on every level, every layer. It's been very challenging even just to show up on some days, just to show up in my own life, much less to show up here and, you know, for a reading or for a camera or for clients. But also it's like it's forced me inward. It's forced me to examine my belief system, to examine where I'm coming from, to examine what really lights me up, what makes me happy, what makes me feel inspired, what makes me feel creative. My creativity is changing. And I would imagine your creativity is changing. You're probably feeling, okay, how do I shift out of this boredom and discontentment with life or with work or with my relationship or just myself? Like, it can be a restless energy. You have to look at where you've been, where you are, where you're going, and kind of create this energy of releasing some of that attachment that you have to resources or finances, because you're going to be making money in a different way. This is like, you know, New Earth, as we're calling it. This is the Age of Aquarius, as we're also calling it. It's a new way to create resources and wealth and abundance, and it's not going to look the way it looked before. It has to shift. It has to change. So Divine Feminine, release that attachment, release that hold that you have when it comes to money and to abundance. Okay. All right. Don't be afraid to lose like what you thought you needed, is also what I'm hearing. Don't be afraid to lose what you thought was necessary, what you thought you needed to survive or to be happy or to be fulfilled, because there's something better waiting for you. This is what this full moon in Aries is challenging the feminine to do. It's a challenge, but it's going to be very, very rewarding. All right, Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine, please. Full moon in Aries. Divine Masculine. He is working on his independence, and interesting, there's a mirroring going on. While the feminine is holding on desperately, Four of Pentacles, to her resources and her wealth and what she's created for herself, and she's not really willing to share at this point in time, the masculine energy, both within and without, right, inside of you and the physical counterpart, is actually feeling very generous. Nine of Pentacles is also an independent energy here, so independent abundance. He's created for himself. He's feeling free. He's feeling abundant. He's feeling happy and joyous. He's feeling like he's starting to get back to that place where he's excited to do the work that he's doing. He's excited, and that's where the feminine needs to travel into next, is to recreate that excitement and get out of this energy of boredom. He's pulling from his inner well of courage and decisiveness. To me, a lion is very decisive. A lion knows what they want. They go after it. They don't pause. It's big cat energy. They don't pause. They don't dwell. They just go after it. If they need to hunt, they're going to go after it. They work together. They work as a team. They're also, the females are very protective of the young, and there's always an alpha. So this is an alpha energy coming through here, but a gentle, heart-led energy. Whenever you see the Strength card, to me, it's the energy of Leo. It's the energy of the lion. It's also the energy of living from the space of the heart. There's also an infinitesimal energy that's connected to the Strength, because if you can see the infinity sign here, so it's an infinitesimal energy. It doesn't ever fade. It doesn't ever. We always have courage to pluck from inside of ourselves. Masculine has had to work long and hard and really look deep within themselves to find this, to source this, but it is deep within the masculine, and he knows it, and he's shining his light again. He wants to give back now. And Nine of Pentacles is like, my cup is overflowing. I've created this beautiful, abundant energy for myself. He wants to share. He wants to share his life with someone. He wants to share the wealth and resources with someone, because he's realizing what good is it to have all of this, to have this house, this home, this beautiful car, these resources, if I can't share it with a beloved, if I can't share it with a partner. All right, I'm gonna have to just place these here. Okay, there we go, to prevent the cards from flying around. got a really weird look doing the cards. It's always interesting to me. I wonder what people think. I'm at a public place, you know, doing the cards. And sometimes I think people want to ask me for a reading, but they don't. Kind of wish they would. And then other people, I think, are scared of them, and other people are curious. And he was curious. All right. Divine feminine energy with the full moon in Aries. All right, feminine. This is a card that's coming up kind of continuously recently for you. So we need to examine this. We need to get to the bottom of this. Spiritual narcolepsy, fallen angel. There again, it feels kind of like a, I don't want to say negative energy surrounding the feminine. It's more of an energy of in denial of the spiritual aspects of the journey, or trying to push it away, or trying to pretend that it doesn't exist. Where is it that you've fallen out of or away from your beliefs or your spirituality? Where is it that you have maybe gotten lost in the shadows and the dark, and you're attempting to recover the light within? So I think a lot of you, I think this is actually an inward journey for a lot of you, where you're feeling like you don't, you can't find the light within. Like, I don't know where it went. And you might have felt dark recently within. You might have had dark thoughts. You might have just felt like, I don't know how to recover my abundance. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm on this journey. I don't even want to be on this earth plane anymore. This is too much. It's not satisfying anymore. It's not fulfilling. Because to me, this is an energy of somebody who wants off the journey. Feels like an energy of like, let me off the ride. I'm done. And this can be falling into old patterns, or falling into that place where you're self-judging, judging thyself very harshly and very deeply. I'm going to look at the book to see what else might be going on here. You're being cautioned not to fall asleep or go unconscious. You've been flying above the strife and suffering of the world in angelic bliss. However, you risk being seduced by the beauty and comfort of your situation and losing track of your aspirations, your wings. As you fall, you pick up speed, heading toward the trees below and a possible nasty landing. Remember that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is spread your wings to halt your descent, and then find an updraft again. Do not be seduced by the fallen angels, your supposed friends and companions who are ready to use you for their pleasure and have only their own interests in mind. As you soar once more in flight, receive the gift of the falling angel as an invitation to study the forest from above the trees. In other words, to analyze your situation from a higher perspective, without being entrenched or entangled in its thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, head back to your lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. Action you take now may backfire. Stay conscious and wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is right. So there could be situations of divine feminine coming up too that are maybe were too challenging, that you didn't want to face. So you've kind of like blocked them out and like, I'm going to rise above the muck. I'm going to rise above the drama. And that's all fine and dandy, but it'll be there waiting for you. You know, I think that's kind of what this card is saying, is you can't avoid the journey. You can't avoid the work. You can't avoid meeting those falling angels on the journey. Those, you know, people disguised as friends that are actually enemies, or those family members who are jealous of your success or whatever it might be. They exist, they're out there, and you can't avoid them. You can't avoid the harsher aspects of the journey. You can't avoid your own darkness. So let's go ahead and face it, and then we can always rise above once we've learned what we need to learn. All right, so for the divine masculine here, for the divine masculine, sorry, it's a bit windy. It's causing my hair to fly into my face, which is itching me. So that's sorry. That's why I'm adjusting my hair so much. Galactic mushroom, divine masculine, the divine matrix. Seeing the truth, seeing this world for what it is, opening their eyes, stepping outside the matrix, realizing I'm a divine being and I've come down here with a mission and a purpose. And they realize at this juncture of their journey that they met you to fulfill a mission and a purpose. They realize this is an important person in my life. That doesn't mean that they recognize you as the twin flame, or they might not have a label. Again, they may never have a label, and that's fine and dandy. What does it really matter, right? We're only in this flesh and blood for a specified period of time, and then we go back to ashes, we go back to the ground, we go back to spiritual form. So what does it really matter what we call what we're doing while we're here? It's funny, someone asked me the other day, they said, what's your name? And I'm like, Galactic Being, Angelic Light, Starseed. You know, it's like I felt so detached from the physical name, from the physical self, the physical experience and body, that I didn't even want to say the name. I just wanted to go, why does that matter? You know, I am a soul standing in front of you, and you're a soul standing in front of me, and let's just identify as that. So more and more detachment, as the more and more that the feminine detaches, the faster and easier it is for the masculine. I wouldn't say the faster, but yeah, kind of the faster, the easier it is for the masculine to detach from whatever it is that they're experiencing, and being able to see this from, it's important for the masculine to be able to experience this from a logical standpoint. So they have to logically see something that, and suddenly it'll go, it'll click with them, and they go, now I see why I had to leave that job, or now I see why that relationship was toxic, or now I see why I had to separate from my twin flame. They realized that there were lessons in this, that this was all serving a purpose that was beyond what they could comprehend at the time. They don't think the feminine is crazy anymore. They now fully understand and grasp what the feminine was trying to tell them, what the feminine was, what the purpose of meeting the feminine was, and who you are to them. I think they're even they're very protective of the connection. And I think they're protecting you, like they're defending you to other people, maybe even the partner that they're currently with. It's like a defense, like you don't know, don't act like you know what that person means to me. They might even be saying to the partner, I will always care for this person, I will always love this person. They showed me, you know, they helped me, free me from the life that I was living, or they showed me that I am worth so much more than what I thought. So they're starting to really, really appreciate those aspects of the journey and meeting the divine counterpart. That does not mean that they will come running back in the physical to tell you all about it. It just might not be time. This might not be the lifetime where you are destined to come together physically. And I don't say these things to hurt you. I say these things because they're real and they're honest. I can't tell you if every divine counterpart is going to come together in this lifetime. That's not for me to know. I don't think anybody knows that. I think anybody claiming to know that isn't real. Isn't that you don't know, because only you and your soul, the divine counterpart, only you know. This is your journey. This is your experience. It's not for someone else to ascertain or comprehend or break apart or deduce. This is for you and you. So if you feel the need to come together physically, I think you will and you can. If you don't feel the need to come together physically and be permanently in each other's life in that way, then you won't. And you're going to be, it's not like you're going to be worse off for it. It's going to be exactly what it needs to be. So this full moon in Aries is really pushing us to a place where we detach from what we know. We detach from who we were, from old cycles, old habits, old patterns, people, places, situations, experiences. We stand up for ourselves more, and we also really protect ourselves. We're protecting ourselves from any energy vampires. We're protecting ourselves from people who might want to take advantage of our generosity or our kindness or our empathic nature. A lot of empaths, what I've noticed in the past few years is you've kind of pulled back that empathy string. You've kind of pulled back, like, I don't want to be empathic anymore. And so you kind of swung to the other extreme. Not that you're not swung to the other extreme, but you haven't been as forthcoming with your empathy. And so some people need that and they won't take advantage of it. So we need to be really discerning, because empathy is a beautiful driving force in this world, and the world needs more of it. It's that feminine energy. It's the ability to surrender, the ability to be vulnerable, the ability to be open. I couldn't find my words. Talk about like brain scrambles, and it's not even brain fog. It's just like, who am I? Where am I? What day is it? I don't know. It's Friday, right? It's taco night with the family and my friend and her daughter. It's I don't even remember what I was saying, but it's an opportunity for us to strengthen our bond with ourselves, to really release. If you want to set that intention, guys, with this full moon in Aries, this 1010 portal, do it. Set that intention to release attachment to the twin flame, and you will start to unravel. It will start to feel, you will feel freedom. And then it will start to, you know, it'll come in layers. It'll release in layers, guys. And you'll be like, oh, I can breathe deeper, right? You feel that expansion in your chest and your ribcage. I can breathe deeper. And then suddenly it's, oh, I feel lighter. And suddenly it's, I'm not feeling them all the time tugging at me. Or you're not seeing the signs and synchronicities. That's actually a good thing. If you're not seeing the signs and synchronicities, if you don't feel any sort of a pull or any sort of like, a prick or a temperature, like if you don't feel anything when you think about them or talk about them, this is a good thing. That tells me, it tells you that you've detached. It tells me that you've been able to release attachment. You've been able to release that need or that desire for them to physically return, or for the physical reunion, the physical union, and that you feel like you're united within, okay? So much more to say, guys. I hope you're enjoying this style and format of videos. Thank you for letting me know, those of you who have, that you are. Thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to more videos in this format. There's parks back home. Oh, this is home, but where I live now, the temperature, the weather's been beautiful. Like surprisingly cool for October, which we're very, very lucky to have. So I can't wait to be able to provide more insight and information and educational videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.